Okay. Today we will start another important feature of object-oriented programming is inheritance. So inheritance, you can define a class as a subclass of another class. Subclass inherits attributes and member functions from a superclass. Suppose if you take the example that we described here, person and employee, so the common factors of all persons are abstracted as a superclass like person's name and age, and you can write one more class employee. He has separate attributes other than a person. If he is employee, he will have employee ID, date of joining and salary. Suppose if you take one more person like farmer, he will not have employee ID and salary and everything. He will have different kind of attributes, but he will definitely have name, age and social security ID. So all those kind of common features you can take out from all the classes and you can create in a superclass, and all the subclasses can inherit those properties from the superclass. So here in this example, employee will have 5 properties. So we will define in the employee class only employee ID, date of joining and salary, and name and age properties gets inherited from the person class. So each Java class will have only one superclass. So a class will not have multiple superclasses, but a class can have multiple subclasses. There is no limit on the number of subclasses a class can have, but a class will have only one superclass. So like this it can go up to n levels. So class 1 is the subclass of class 2, class 2 is the subclass of class 3. Like that it will go up to n levels. So here in this example, person is the superclass of an employee and employee is the superclass for contract employee and permanent employee. So here we wanted, so all employees will have same kind of attributes, employee ID, date of joining and salary, but the calculation of salary will be different for contract employee and permanent employee. So we have created two subclasses, and there we will have methods to calculate the salary of contract employee and permanent employee. So based on the abstraction that we can do, the attributes we will keep those common properties in a superclass, and specific concrete behavior we will keep it in the subclasses. So I will just take an example of, so yesterday we have created bank account. So I can have two types of accounts, so savings account and a corporate account. So extends is the keyword used for inheritance. So when I say savings account extends bank account, so this class will import all the properties and behave member functions. So from this bank account class, so it can have its own properties. So if I wanted to give particular rate of interest for a savings account, so right. So I will have a member functions to add the interest to the balance of a account. So how will you calculate the interest? So we have added interest to the savings account. So here if you observe, I have used the variable balance that is not defined in the savings account class, but it is available, it is inherited from the bank account. Similarly, I will create one more class, corporate account. So this is also extends from bank account. So for corporate accounts, I wanted to give the facility of overdraft limit. So while creating corporate account, so I will specify the overdraft limit. So here I will have a function to withdraw overdraft amount. So here I have implemented the method withdraw. So, but the method that we have in the bank account for withdraw and the method we have in the savings account, both are corporate account, both are same. But what is the difference? So we will add a condition in the method. So if balance is less than amount to withdraw, so we don't want to say insufficient amount. And we will return the balance. Or you can write so here what we are saying, if the balance is less than amount to withdraw, we wanted to say insufficient amount. But that is the different case with corporate account. So I wanted to override the implementation of this withdraw method in the bank account. So I wanted to give a different implementation for this withdraw method in the for the overdraft accounts, because in the overdraft account balance plus overdraft limit is less than amount to withdraw, then we will say overdraft limit exceeded. So here we have given the different implementation for the withdraw method, because for the corporate accounts we will have the feature of overdraft limit. So this is called method overriding. So in the super class of this bank account, there is an implementation for withdraw, that is the default implementation for all the subclasses. So in the savings account, that withdraw method got inherited automatically. So because the savings account, the withdraw mechanism is same, so we don't want to change the implementation. But for the corporate account, we wanted to change the implementation because of the overdraft facility. So this is called method overriding. So we are overriding the implementation of the method in the subclasses. So I will use super here for creating the object of bank account. So this constructor we have used for creating the bank account object. So if we don't have the constructor with this parameter, so it will use the default constructor. So we don't want to create default bank accounts, so I have removed the default constructors. So now we have the savings account as well as corporate account. So corporate account with overdraft limit, and it has the method withdraw overridden from the parent class. So now I will test these accounts. So I have created savings account for the customer ID 1 with balance 1000 with interest rate 100. So I will calculate interest. Account 1 balance Similarly, I will create corporate account. Overdraft limit 1000. So I have a balance of 500 and overdraft limit I have specified as 1000. So I wanted to withdraw 1000 rupees, but I have balance. So I will run this program. So here I have created the savings account and added the interest. The interest is calculated and balance is 1100. I have created corporate account with opening balance 500 and overdraft limit 1000. I withdraw 1000. Suppose if I try to withdraw 1500 from the savings account, here I will try to withdraw 2000 from corporate account. So here it says insufficient amount for account 1, insufficient amount and overdraft limit exceeded for the account 2. So here in the savings account we did not implement any withdraw method, so the implementation is inherited from the bank account. In the corporate account, we have overridden the implementation of withdraw method. So it has invoked this method, insufficient amount and overdraft limit exceed. So what is polymorphism? So here we have created savings account and corporate account. So both are bank accounts. So instead of saying savings account, I will say bank account. So I will have a function. So I will remove this from here. So here I am passing, while invoking withdraw from bank, I am passing a savings account here. Here I am passing corporate account. But the parameter here is the type of bank account. So when I invoke withdraw method on this bank account, but here I am invoking the withdraw on bank account instance. Means ideally it is supposed to call the withdraw method in the bank account class. But what polymorphism provides is it will invoke the withdraw method from the instance passed to the bank account. So bank account is the super class for the savings account and corporate account. So we are invoking the withdraw method. So now we will see what will be the result. So here for the first time it invoked, it said that insufficient amount, means it invoked the withdraw method in the bank account. So second time it did not say insufficient amount because it did not invoke the withdraw method from the bank account, it invoked from the overdraft corporate account. Suppose here if you see, the first time it says insufficient amount when we pass this account one object. When we pass the account from corporate object, it's an insufficient amount and overdraft limited. So this we have implemented the overdraft facility for the corporate account. It invoked the method from the object instance that was passed. So which method to invoke? Either from the bank account withdraw or from the corporate account withdraw. It will define in run. It will decide in runtime based on the instance of the class that is passed. Here we passed the instance of corporate account, so it invoked the withdraw from the corporate account. Here we passed the instance of savings account, so it invoked the withdraw from bank account because savings account does not have any withdraw implementation. So deciding the which method to invoke at runtime is called polymorphism. So polymorphism is achieved through overriding. So if you are overriding some of the implementations in the subclasses, so based on the instance of the subclass, it will invoke the implementation of that subclass. So this is called polymorphism in inheritance. So the ground for the polymorphism is method overriding. So the overridden methods will be invoked based on the instance that is passed. But the declared type of variable is of type superclass. Okay. Yeah, we discussed the abstract. So we don't want people to create the instances for the bank account class. So we wanted to stop creating the instances directly for the bank account. So we can declare the class as abstract if you don't want people to create the instances. So if you try to create the instance for bank account, it will not allow. It will not allow because cannot instantiate of the type bank account. So in abstract, you can define the methods also as abstract. Means you need not provide the implementation. So here I have defined the member function or behavior calculate interest, but I don't want to provide the implementation here. So whatever be the implementation that you provide in superclass is the default implementation. You can override this implementation in the subclass. So once you define the method as abstract, so the class will become abstract. You need not define the abstract here. By default it will become abstract. Oh, sorry, I think we need to define it. So if a method is abstract, you must define the class as abstract. So now if you see, you got the error because so all the subclasses that extends the abstract class should implement the abstract methods. So here we should implement the abstract method calculate interest. This is not overriding, this is providing the implementation for the abstract method in the subclass. So if you provide the implementation here, then you can use that. Similarly, we need to provide the different implementation in the overdraft account. So if you don't want to, you wanted to expose the behavior, you wanted to define the behavior, but you don't want to provide the implementation in the superclass. So in that case, you can use the method abstract. After that, you need to provide the implementation for all abstract methods in all the subclasses. So if you don't define the abstract, so here we have used withdraw and deposit methods. We did not override or provide any implementations in the subclass. So if you define a class as final, so you cannot extend the class in the subclasses. So that is the final, you cannot extend it anymore. Similarly, as final classes, you can define the member functions also final. Now I will remove this as final. So I can define the member functions also final. Suppose I will take withdraw. So I will define this member function as final. Means I cannot override the behavior of this method in the subclasses. So here in the corporate account we have overridden the implementation of the method withdraw, but we have defined the implementation is final here, so you cannot override it in the subclasses. So that is the use of final in inheritance. So the final is used for not changing the behavior or value of attribute. If it is member function, you cannot change the behavior of the member function in the subclasses.